Hey, what's up YouTube? Arc Random here, and welcome back to my Pokemon Glazed Nuzlocke Let's Play. I'll be honest with you guys, I tried to record this video, and it did not record the audio. So, I'm actually voicing over the video this time, because I think it went very well, and so I'm not gonna re-record it. Also because ORAS is coming out tomorrow, and I don't want to be up all night trying to edit this shit. So, sorry guys, this episode's not gonna be the way it normally is, but it will be fixed. Like, I'll fix it next time. I don't know why it didn't record the audio, it just didn't. But, as you see on the screen right now, we're looking at the map, we are going on to Palm Tree City next. Last video we got our 6th badge, so we're looking at going for 7 and 8 this time, as well as a big team fusion event. First we gotta run through Espo Clearing here, which is all the Psychic Pokemon. Last time we tried to get an encounter there and it teleported away because Psychic Pokemon are little bitches. But in the party right now, we have Windy the Dragonair, Jinbei the Swampert, who's kind of a beast right now, Irwin the Arcanine, Lobo the Minitrike, Gray the Glaceon, and Poof the Swallow. All these Pokemon had since last part. They're all doing really well. I feel pretty over-leveled. I feel pretty confident in this section. I don't know how Jinbei keeps staying so over-leveled. Like, I feel like at the beginning of the game, it was leveling us up. We had to like get super over-leveled to beat any of the gyms, and now all the gyms are really close in level. Like the past 3 gyms or so have all been really close in level. And even later on, the gym in this part is still not super high, and so I'm not really sure like what kind of levels they were going for. But hopefully the Elite Four is going to be somewhere in the high 50s range, somewhere in that area, so that there's actually going to be needed some grinding and some leveling and some preparing for them. But I think I like where my team is at right now. I feel like it's in a good place. And I'm running Gray at the front because Gray has Bite. Also, why not? Lot killers. Beware. They're scary. But I run Gray at the front because he's got Bite and we're running through all these forests. Now I activate this thing here, and it says, the sides of the shrine are etched with prayers and thanks of people. Would you like to write something on the wood? Yes, what will you etch? I thought this was giving me a Pokemon, so I was gonna, and it looked like a gold Bulbasaur, so I was gonna name it something, because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna nickname this Pokemon that I'm getting. I was like, sweet action, a free Pokemon. As it turns out, you're just kind of etching words on the side of the shrine. Don't know what that's all about. But, yeah, so I decided I'm going to name it, the name for gold in Spanish, so I name it Oro at some point. It took me a long time to remember how to spell that, though. Yeah, I don't know what this shrine does. I'm assuming it's a legendary encounter later. I'm hoping it's a legendary encounter later. Maybe something like that. But I go ahead and I'm just going to head on out and fight the last couple of trainers. And I'm speeding up quite a bit in this area because I know there's a lot of mandatory trainers that I have to get past. And I didn't want to do a grinding montage. I didn't want to grind through it because I felt like it would just be a waste of time. It was, I wasn't interested in taking all that time for it. So also, Abras give like shit experience, so I'm just going to stop biting those. Here I'm a little scared because this Why Not? I'm afraid it's gonna like beat me up, but I gotta fight it. And he uses Safeguard, and so I'm going ahead and get the takedown on it. But as we start heading into the next area, we are heading for the Palm Tree Springs, Palm Tree Resort. We're heading for Palm Tree Resort. I think Palm Tree Cove is where we end up before. Also, I tried to kill this Curlia because I want the experience, and it teleports away again because Psychic Pokemon are little bitches. I run on here to grab this little item. I believe it's a TM. Oh, actually, that's an Abra. I believe the item is a TM. And, oh, Dawnstone. Sorry. It is a Dawnstone. Also, there were Beldums here, and that makes me really sad, because I would have wanted one of those. I could have a Metang right now. Like, I would have switched someone out of the party for that. Esper Tammy throws out a Kadabra, and, I eat it. It's Num Num. It tries to use Future Sight there, and, I was like super hoping and praying that I could just one-shot all the way through, but I end up getting 2-shotting the Alakazam, and I never see the Future Sight. So that was Esper Tammy. You head on out, you see the Abra here, And we go for a first encounter here in Palm Tree Park. Checking out the map because we're right here by Palm Tree Resort, so like it's right around the corner. We go Mount Stratus, then we're going for Sunshore Beach and probably on to the tower after that. So we got Palm Tree Resort, Seashore Beach, and then the Spatial Sea. I don't know if we did a capture in Spatial Sea. I know we did in Spatial Tower. We get a capture there. So I'm gonna run Windy up at the front of the party because I believe Windy's the only one who has like my status moves, and so I'm gonna run Windy up at the front and go for the Spore on whatever I'm trying to catch. So that's why I run around with Windy. And we see who the first encounter is after I teach Fly to Swallow because I did in the last episode and I wanted to do it while like it was on my mind. So I go ahead and teach Fly to Swallow, and I get rid of Aerial Ace because I like having the other moves, and no reason to have two flying moves on him. So we run around here in a little bit, and we find a Beedrill. Not too big on Beedrills per se. It's kind of a low level for whatever reason, but I was like, I'll just go ahead and catch it. I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, there may be a time where I would need a bug or a poison Pokemon on the team. So I go ahead and Spore it, and I just go for a Pokeball, because it's a fucking Beedrill. And go ahead and catch it first try. And because I'm a fan of his videos, I go ahead and name it Shino, or Shino Beedrill. And so, go ahead, catch the Beedrill, and then I just head on out. There's no reason to stick around here for very long. There's really not much to do here. There's that little kid running around for whatever reason. Look at that asshole. Alright. Nobody leaves the Palm Tree Resort. Only way in would be to fly. And so, with this, they actually make Fly into an essential HM. For like this one purpose of you have to get to Palm Tree Resort by flying into it. So, I go ahead and use that, which, that was definitely a Pidgeotto. Ark, I'm so glad I managed to see you before Team Fusion is about to put their plans into action. My dad, he wants to catch Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. From what I can tell, Dad will be firing a beam of electrical energy from his lab to Haunted Rock, Temporal Tower, and Spatial Ruins, which should awaken the trio. He's tasked me with capturing Dialga. I've already contacted Blake. He's going for Giratina. Please, would you go to the Spatial Ruins and save Palkia? It's just south of the city. See, I better go. Pidgeot, use Fly. See, I thought I would have been able to fly, or fight Palkia and try and catch Palkia here. But unfortunately, the game is mean and does not let me go for one of my favorite legendaries. But here we got a little mart and a little health station that we can run around and heal up and everything. Welcome. I'll go ahead and stock up on some Ultra Balls, because I thought that I was going to come fight a legendary Pokemon. But again, the game's letting me down. And it's being a jerk to me and not letting me catch him. But I'm going to sell off some of my useful stuff. Things like Rain Dance, things like Sunny Day. I accidentally sell Ice Beam there, but I don't think I'll really need it. I mean, as long as I keep Glaceon safe. Glaceon's like all the ice power that I need. And then I start throwing away some stuff, like I don't need the Dawn Stones, I don't need the Pearl, Twisted Flute, Black Flute, Twisted Spoon. Excuse me, getting that shit mixed up. And so I go ahead and hold on to the Thunderstone. You never know when you'll need that one. But I stock up on some Ultra Balls because I was hoping I'd need them. Grab some full heals, and that's about it that I get in here. They don't have Great Balls here, which is depressing. But now, when you walk around the town's kind of funny because they've like literally covered the town in Team Fusion members. Like, there are Team Fusion members fucking everywhere. Like, there's one. There's actually no one in this house. I don't know what this house is for. But there's just no one there. I went to a trash can because I thought there might be something. I don't know. But there's no one there. You can't go up into Mount Stratus. You can't go into the gym. You can't leave the town. And then there's like no one on the beach. Except these two assholes. Who I didn't expect to have to fight. But yeah. These guys got Magmortar and Electivire. So with this, I go ahead and I go for a Spore on the Electivire, because I don't think I can get Thunderbolt because of Mega Drive. I considered switching out so that I could get an Earthquake off, but I feel like it'd just be safer to Spore the Electivire and then go for a Scald on the Magmortar. For whatever reason, you can't target Scald, and I don't know why that is. In double battles, you can't target Scald. It always hits the right side Pokemon. I don't know why that is in the game. There may be some info on that, but I'm not sure what it is. But this time, I go ahead and switch Windy out for Poof so that I can safely Earthquake and just take out the Electivire in one shot. So that was pretty easy. Took them out, and they just go Grumble. But I go ahead, and you look around the beach, there's no one on the beach right now. And so after you clear out this event, all these people appear. And so I'm wondering if they're battles, or if there's some items I can get from people. But there's just these two random-ass fishermen hanging out down here. But I go for an encounter here, and first encounter, Tentacool. Only level 18. Stuff's getting like weirdly low levels in this area, and I'm not sure why. But I go for the catch on him, and I just throw a Pokeball out, and I caught him. And because I'm a childish person, I named my Tentacool Hentai the Tentacool. Which, I don't know, I thought it was funny. I thought it works. But, put him away. Now we're gonna go on. There's a couple of swimmers, I think, here. But this is the Spatial Sea. I don't actually catch a Pokemon here, now that I think about it. I did not catch a Spatial Sea Pokemon. But here's the swimmers, and at this time I just kind of try and focus down the Float Cell, because I feel like it's a little more scary than the Shelter. So I go ahead and focus down, which is good because Shelter ends up using Protect. And this time I get that off there. And it's another Float Cell. So I just second verse him as the first. But I actually Leaf Blade Shelter this time because it didn't try and stop. So I decided to just go for that the same turn again. And so I go Thunderbolt Leaf Blade. Floatzel's just stacking agilities for whatever reason. But I get the Leaf Blade off on Cloyster, and it doesn't take him down, but he sets up a Withdraw, and I go for that, and then he protects, because he's annoying as fuck. So I drop another combo on him, and then the next Pokemon that comes out is going to catch a Leaf Blade. And so here's the Slowbro, and so that was pretty easy. Took him down, Thunderbolts and Leaf Blades. So that was pretty easy. Take down the two swimmers. I like that there's so many more double battles in this area. I love double battles. I think they're fun. I accidentally texted the wrong person. Oh. When you level Feebas, I was confused because she wasn't a trainer. Also, that dude's hat's glitching out. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I didn't actually even encounter a Pokemon there. I may be able to go back and catch something in Spatial Sea next part. But, I decide to run with Lobo at the front of my party and fight through all these Team Fusion members. There are so many mandatory battles. And I just don't understand why I can't just run away from all these. Now, I almost switched out to Irwin here, which would have sucked, because he tries to use a Focus Punch on me. So I go ahead and just, like, Thunderbolt him down. I'm trying to use the weaker members of my party to fight, because I just want to get them leveled up, and because I feel over-leveled. And I don't know why, because everyone here is, like, high 30s, but I still have a level 44 Swampert. So, Team Fusion, Grunt, throwing out an Aggron, which is kind of awesome. Now we're starting to see Team Fusion with a few Pokemon that are not regular fighting types, which I think is pretty cool. I like the Magmortar and the Electivire. We see like a trainer with a Sceptile later. We see some more ground Pokemon. This guy's sending out a Conkeldurr, and I'm a little scared of these guys because Conkeldurrs are really strong. I just got to keep an eye out for them. So I go ahead and just Spore him down and just try and slowly take him down with some Dragon Rages, some Surfs, stuff like that. Just to make the battle easier. But there we go. Now we start heading into the little cave area here. Oh yeah, take the experience share off of Poof and give it to Lobo because Lobo's having a hard time not getting experience right now. So I go ahead and give him the experience share, and then we stroll on. The switch. Oh, I do put Windy at the front. I forgot about that because I'm trying to get Windy to be a Dragonite as soon as possible, even though I still know it's going to be like level 55. But more double battles because this is awesome. These guys run with a full team of 6 too. But I go for the Spore on the Breloom, and then I'm trying to... sorry, yawning so much. But I'm trying to Blizzard these guys out, and I miss so many Blizzards in this. So I go for Thunderbolt, trying to burst down the Hitmonlee, and I'm hoping that I land a Blizzard at some point, but that just doesn't fucking happen. So now I decide to Thunderbolt the Breloom and go for Blizzard again in case Blizzard doesn't land, and finally I hit both of them, take them both out. Hitmonlees are kind of scary. Like earlier on in the game, Hitmonlees were what like shreked my team. Now I'm gonna Spore the Hitmonchan because I'm scared of like an Ice Punch. So I go ahead and Spore Hitmonchan and just go for Scald on Lucario. He goes for a Bone Rush on me, which I thought was kind of fun. But now I'm just going to start Thunderbolting the Hitmonchan and finish off Scalding the Lucario. Thunderbolt does a surprisingly low amount of damage, though. But now we see a Poliwrath, which is someone I can target. And I try to use Scald again, but then I forget, oh yeah, I can't target that, and so it automatically goes for the target I don't want to hit. But I just decided to go for Leaf Blades on Hitmonchan, just try and do some damage, take him out before he wakes up, and as it turns out, that did a shit ton of damage. But now we got an Intimidate drop from the Hitmontop, which is a tad bit annoying. And I go for the Leaf Blade here on Hitmontop, and he tries to use Counter on me. Oh yeah, I get Bite, which I delete Sparks for Bite on Lobo, because he needs it. So I get rid of Sparks. Me. Come on, me. Alright, so I get rid of Sparks, and I Leaf Blade Hitmontop, and he tries to use Counter, which is a bit scary, but I guess Leaf Blade still counts as a special move in this game. So go ahead and drop a Thunderbolt. Get the Para-Hacks off on the 10% Thunderbolt. Go ahead and take him down. And I decide to heal up a little bit. And I run through a lot of Super Potions in this video, because I don't ever stock up on Hyper Potions. But I'm making some money right now. These guys quit sneaking around at me, even though, like, they're bad guys. Like, they are the villains here. So he's running a Pignite, and he's also running an Imbor. So I just stick with Windy and just go for the Surfs. The Imbor's it's kind of cool that he has an Imbor. But out of the Unova starters, Tepig's definitely the one who's just happy to be there. Can we just talk about that? The other Samurott, Snivy, those guys, they're the real beast. Tepig's just happy to be included. But yeah, I just surf through these Rhydons my peers. I like the theme of all these trainers having like a first evolution of a Pokemon and then their evolved forms. So here's a Ross. This is actually the first encounter in the area. So I decide, oh well, I guess I can catch him. I'm afraid of him teleporting away, so I go. Oh. God, I'm yawning so much. I'm sorry, guys. So I go for a Spore just to make sure I can catch it. What I didn't realize is he actually got my Shed Skin, and I'm really lucky that he did not Shed Skin off the sleep right off the bat. But I name him my cute little Broccoli the Ralts, because they're tiny trees, like broccoli. I think I misspelled broccoli, but at this point, I'm pretty solid in the team I've got, and I've got a backup Pokemon if I ever lose any of my team, like my backup Grovyle that I can train up pretty quickly. Also, I am skipping some trainers here because there's no reason to fight them. Like, to be totally honest, there's a lot of mandatory trainers. I'm already overleveled. I don't want to keep being overleveled. I want the game to actually like catch up to me. But I think after this part, I may do a bit of grinding. Well, no, I'm actually in a spot where I can't really grind in the next part. So I'll probably do the next part, fight the next gym battle, and then I will grind. But this guy's running a Conch Elder, and I go ahead and just go for the sleep hacks and surf him to death. Surf him to death. I get a 4-turn sleep. Oh my god, I'm more tired than I thought I am, I guess. But here I run up here, and I'm so confused because the Pikachu is right here. And I was super confused because I saw the Pikachu in the last room, but just the way the map's laid out, I guess the way they had to program it, the door just kind of teleported me to another door, and so I fight the Pikachu here. It's no big deal. So here I just go for the earthquake. He goes for a Volt Tackle on me. That's the first time Pikachu's ever woken up from the Spore. And I'm not really sure what kind of moves it can use. I still don't have enough strength. I joined Team Fusion to gain strength and beat you to a pulp, and it hasn't worked yet. I'm done with this bullshit. I'm not going after you anymore. I need to think. Don't follow me! Bitch, I haven't been following you. You've literally been following me. You've been trying to stop me everywhere I go. 'Cause you a bitch. But that was pretty easy. So I go up into this room up here, this is not quite the Team Fusion room. I go ahead and use all these potions to heal up because I like expect stuff on the other side of the room. And it was pretty dumb because I walked through this door and what's immediately on the other side of the door is this little hiker dude. Nope, never mind. Sorry, wrong part. That's later. Psh. You tried nobly, but you're too late. My lab has already prepared the electric beams to summon the Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. There is nothing you can do except step back and watch history take place. Bana, and this is the haunted island. So that's where Giratina appears. Roar! Then we get the Dialga from the temporal tower, I guess? Temporal tower. And then last but not least, we get Palkia, ruler of space. My personal favorite of the three. What human dares to disturb my duties? It is I, your new trainer, Master Ball, go! And I was like, well, okay. I guess that happened. This is just a preview. No point in going there. We've already won. Team Fusion, time to move out. And I was just kind of like, well, fuck. And my cell phone starts ringing. Oh, I couldn't save Giratina. Regina managed to catch it shortly before I arrived. Henry and I are meeting in Palm Tree Resort to review our options. Please hurry. So I'm just kind of stuck here at the moment, and I'm just like, well, I thought I was going to get to catch the Palkia. And I'm a little sad right now. But I end up just going to fly back to Palm Tree and, do my thing. So I heal up here, and what I stupidly don't do is I don't restock on healing items, because I still don't have any. But I probably made a bunch of money. And so now, Team Fusion's left this whole area. Don't feel bad, Ark. You've been a great help to us. Why don't you go get the 7th badge while we figure things out here? I caught Dialga, but the Master Ball I used disappeared after I did it. It must have been teleported to my father. That's a bit annoying. I thought maybe he was going to, give me Dialga or something. I don't know. I wanted a legendary Pokemon this episode, okay? That's all there is to it. And in this house is the captain who can check the Pokeblocks that your Pokemon like. Which is, I guess, kind of useful for, Pokemon contests and shit. But I'm not really interested in that. Then over here, we've got scientists. We got scientists from Goldenrod who was like, oh, man, Team Rocket took over my city, and then we went to Palm Tree Resort, and then these new guys take over the city. What the fuck? And then he's the head of the TM department. They're making a new TM, which sounds cool. And then, come on, tell me I'm adorable. I know you're thinking it. And he's kind of run into the wall, being a weirdo. I run back in here trying to look for, what can happen, if I can go up there. And so I try and just say yes to her and see if I have an appointment. And nope. I can pencil you in for about a year or so. We're behind, so we can't disturb our workers. So I guess I can't go up there, and then I just check around with the people in here. No one has a pass to go up the elevator or anything. I wonder what's up there, though. I wonder if there's a fancy pants TM we can get later. Something kind of cool. But I try and stop this kid, because he's losing his mind. And then he tells me Nicole uses rock types. And that Ernest tried to battle her for the 7th spot, but lost. Well, obviously, it's fire against rock. So I thought for a second that I had 7 badges, but this is in fact the 7th gym. And I look around here and I'm like, oh, all these people are back. So maybe they're trainers, maybe not. And he's super excited that he got to see the siege of an evil group of people. Whoa, don't. And he tells me that rock types don't use a flying type. And what I do right when I start the first battle, as I decide to fight all the gym trainers, is I throw out a Swellow against a rock gym. Because I'm good at this game. But I throw out Jinbei and go for a Scald. And I'm just gonna fight everyone in the gym. It's I think you kind of have to. There's no real puzzle here. It's just a lot of gym battles. And this is where I kind of decided I'm gonna run through using Jinbei because I'm scared of self-destructs and explodes because gym trainers can have that shit. So I just throw Jinbei at the front, and I'm just like, okay, in case of self-destruction and all that, I'm going to go ahead and fight everyone with Jinbei, and just kind of take them down, and let the experience share sit on Lobo. This guy actually runs with a Slugma, for whatever reason. And then he switched out to a Macargo, and so I decided I'm going to Earthquake the Macargo, and I'm save Scalds. But as it turns out, I'm going to go ahead and heal before I fight the gym leader, so I don't actually need to conserve my Scalds. Thought about needing to do that, but as it turns out, I don't need to. This guy talks about Cranios and Rampardos, but he doesn't have them. No one in this gym has Cranios or Rampardos, which is a bit depressing. And then he throws out a Kabutops. So Jinbei is pretty much a beast at killing other ground and rock Pokemon. Like, that's what he's made for. He's got Scald, he's got Leech Blade, he's got Earthquake. He can take them all down. And I believe there's 2 more trainers here. We got this guy who runs with the Tyranitar evolution chain, which is pretty cool. All rock and dark type. Well, I guess they're not dark type until Tyranitar. But yeah, Alpinus Daryl. And so we got the last trainer here before the gym leader, and he throws out a Lyron, which is where I get the idea that the gym leader probably has an Aggron, which is pretty cool. I like Aggrons. My friend loves Aggrons. But I run out and I go and heal before I fight the gym leader, because I'm a coward and I don't want to lose. Still, keep in mind, have not gone back and bought healing items. Just keep track of that right now. So I've not gone back and gotten any healing items, but I'm going to go ahead and go fight the gym leader. And I don't know if I can actually use that hole to travel back, but I don't do it. Even though, now that I look at it, it probably could. But now I go ahead and challenge the gym leader, Nicole. Teehee, a challenger. I hope you forgive me. Forgive the mess. I really like rocks, and I'm a geologist after all. But you want to battle, right? Then let's go. Teehee. I like that even Glazed follows the theme of ground and rock trainers being female, because a lot of Pokemon games have ground and rock female trainers. Like Roxanne and the trainer at the beginning of Diamond and Pearl. This is Tyranitar, and so he sets up Sandstorm, which basically fucks me this battle. Sandstorm just kind of destroys me throughout this battle. I have to go through so much healing just because it's fucking Sandstorm. And this Tyranitar eats it up. I think if I would have Earthquaked, I could have taken him out. But I was like, no, I'm going to use Scald just because I love that move. And I'm dumb. But nope, he eats up the Scald and keeps fighting me. This thing is tanky as fuck right now. And he's got leftovers. I think most of his team has leftovers. Not all of his team, but a couple of his team members have leftovers. But I just go for the nice powerful Scald. He gets an Earthquake off and actually does an okay amount of damage. Jinbei still eats it up, but compared to other Pokemon, he does a good amount of damage. But I believe his next Pokemon is, in fact, a Cradilly. But Jinbei is trying to learn Protect, and I go ahead and decide to switch out because he got the Speed Drop on me, and I don't want to fight with that Speed Drop. So he's about to use Cradilly, and I decide to switch out to... I consider Irwin, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Windy, because I know Cradilly is Grass type as well, which makes him a little hard to kill. But I'm like, yeah, I'll just go for the sleep hacks and just try and take him down. Well, doesn't necessarily work out that way. This Cradilly is actually probably the strongest Pokemon on our team. This Cradilly does a lot more work than the rest of her team does. So I go for the Spore, put the thing to sleep, because I'm not about that life. Taking a here, I think it's gonna try and Seed Set on me, but in reality, it doesn't actually really go for that ever. But here, the Sandstorm ticks this is where I start noticing the Sandstorm ticks, because I start taking a shit ton of damage. So I'm just gonna keep surfing it out, and realize that does fucking nothing. So I go for the Dragon's Rage, and then I go for another Dragon's Rage, and then he Confuse Rays me. And then I'm like, well, I might as well go for another Dragon's Rage. Then she Hyper Potions. Well, this is where I start taking too much damage. So I hurt myself in Confusion. He uses Integrain, and I get buffeted by Sandstorm. Well, now I'm less than 50 health, so I only have Super Potions. I have not upgraded to Hyper Potions yet. For whatever fucking reason, I have not upgraded to Hyper Potions yet. So I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna heal up. Well, Ancient Power does a pretty good amount of damage. I'm a little scared to take another Ancient Power. But then I'm like, oh yeah, Ancient Power only has 5 PP. I'm just gonna stall it out. And so here's me using up all of my healing items to stall out an Ancient Power. for whatever fucking reason, I'm like, this is the right idea. This is the right strategy. I should definitely do this for this battle. When in reality, I should not be doing this. This is a horrible idea. Why am I wasting all my super potions doing this? But now he's on to Giga Drain, so I'm assuming he's out of ancient powers, which he is. I'm like, well, Giga Drain's not doing much. Let's try and get my Spore off. Well, I hurt myself in confusion, and then Giga Drain suddenly does more damage on top of the fucking Sandstorm. So I'm like, well, why not stall out the Giga Drains? Because I'm fucking good at this game. But I'm like, I'm gonna go for the Spore. But Windy is still fucking confused. Alright, I'm gonna go for these Dragon Rages again. And then I catch more Giga Drains. And then I'm low again. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep healing. It hasn't stopped working yet. And then it confuses me again. And this is the point where I'm basically just like, you know what? Fuck this. Go to sleep, and then I'm gonna switch. Because I don't want to keep taking all of this Sandstorm take on Windy. Because I may be able to use Windy later. So I go ahead and switch to Irwin. Because I'm like, okay, you don't have Ancient Powers, you just have Giga Drains, so I'm okay with taking Giga Drains. Actually, I think he's out of Giga Drains at this point, too. But he go ahead and Confuse Raise me. I land a Fire Blast, and then he heals up just enough with the Integrain, and then he heals up with Giga Drain. So that second Fire Blast landed, I think I could have taken him down. But here's this Fire Blast, then Giga Drains me again, heals up with Integrain, and now I'm too low to keep fighting, so I gotta heal. That second one was actually kind of a misclick. Like, I kind of wanted to keep fighting. I kind of wanted to heal at that turn. But I'm like, nope, I'm gonna heal up again. So, I'm just, I'm losing the stall battle. I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. I'm pretty much just losing the stall battle. So I go for the Fire Blast, and I'm like, okay, she's gonna heal. Might as well not try and use the Fire Blast. So I go for the Rock Smash. And, Rock Smash does an okay amount of damage. Then I get the Defense Drop, so I'm like, okay, I'll just keep using Rock Smash. Well, I'm too low, so I don't wanna mess with that shit. But he keeps trying to Confuse Ray me. And so this Cradily set is Giga Drain, Ancient Power, Confuse Ray, and Integrain. That's kind of awesome. Fortunately, he didn't get any Ancient Power boost. If he had gotten Ancient Power boost, he might have fucked me up. Like, he might have done a shit ton of damage to me with Giga Drains, and I might not have still had Windy by the end of this battle, because I was fucking stupid about it. But then he throws an Aggron. Alright, so now we're back to, like, actual Rock Steel Pokemon that I know how to deal with. So, I go out to Jinbei, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm a Scald. Take him down. Easy peasy. And then, he throws out a Rhyperior, and I'm like, I'm gonna Scald this one too! I'm like, okay, so it's probably just gonna be like Rhyperior, Golem, so I could probably handle the rest of these. That Cradily was caught me off guard. And I was thinking maybe that might see an Armaldo, because that might be kind of interesting. So I go for the Scald, and as it turns out, her last Pokemon is a bit of a surprise. So I one-shot the Rhyperior, because I'm not surprised. They have booty special defense. They have no special defense on either of those Pokemon. But now, the last Pokemon that she sends out is, in fact, a Shuckle. So I'm like, well, if anything, if it's going to try and Power Trick me, I'm going to switch out of Jinbei. Like, I don't want to catch, like, some crazy Power Trick. So I'm like, if anyone can fight it, it might as well be Windy. Or no, never mind, I switched to Irwin. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and do some damage to this. So I'm like, I'm going to fucking Rock Smash it. I do nothing. Then I get Toxic. So I'm like, okay, this is a Stall Shuckle. And so, I'm not going to do enough damage. So out to Windy I go. I'm like, well, Rock Pokemon, I'm not going to use Pooh for Gray at any point in this gym. That's a bad idea. So now, I've got Windy out. I'm like, I don't need to heal. So I'm going to Spore you. Because I don't want to catch a Toxic on Windy. Because Toxic is bad. So I go for a Dragon's Rage. And I'm like, well, that's it. That's what I need to do to win this game. Then Leftovers ticks, and he's in survivability range. He wakes up and he rests. Well, fuck that shit. So I go ahead and heal up, because Sandstorm's kicking my ass right now. And then I try to Spore again for whatever reason, because I'm stupid, and then I Dragon's Rage, and then he Toxics me. So I get worried for a second, then Windy's a beast, and comes through with Shed Skin. So I go ahead and Spore him again, because I don't want to deal with that shit. And so now, I'm like, Dragon Rage again, and she heals up next turn. And I'm running out of Dragon Rages. So, this shit's a bit annoying. So I use one more Dragon Rage because I'm stupid and I don't expect another Hyper Potion. But in this game, gym leaders are stocked up, as opposed to like previous games where gym leaders only had like 1 or 2 Hyper Potions. Well, then I'm like, I could heal, but now he's locked into rollout. So I'm gonna try and snooze him, make him fall asleep, and then I'm just gonna heal up. And so these stallers on these gyms are ridiculous. He also gets a rest off, and that pisses me off even more. So I'm gonna full heal Windy because I'm like, okay, you're rested, you're asleep now. I'm just gonna surf you because Thunderbolt's not gonna do anything. I've just given up on the fact that Thunderbolt exists on my team. So I just keep surfing, keep surfing. He wakes up, locks himself into rollout. So I'm like, okay, as opposed to trying to put him to sleep, I'm just gonna let him stay locked into rollout and try and fight, which is the right plan. This is the right strategy. So I go ahead and beat him with surf because he's locked into rollout. And I get the takedown on him, and then he was worth no experience. So that was a bit more stressful than it needed to be, mostly because Sandstorm was just kicking my ass. That whole battle, Sandstorm was beating the shit out of me. But it gives me the core badge, and then it tells me that I'm gonna have to use dive later, which sucks. So, I'm gonna have to deal with fucking dive in the next part when I have to go to Darkwood Town. Because I hate having that move on my team. Like, it's a weak sauce version. Like, why is there 3 water HMs and none of them are as strong as Surf, the first one you get? Dive and Waterfall are not as good as Surf. Waterfall is in later games when it becomes a physical move. But before it's a physical move, Waterfall is booty. So, I'm going to go ahead and hop on out and speed my way back and go heal up. And now, are you guys keeping track? Are you guys keeping track? Because here, what do? I heal up, and then I leave. What did I not do? I did not buy more potions. What did I do during that battle? Super potion stall. Awesome. So it's like, I should have known you would have gotten the badge so soon. Time to infiltrate the lab and go save Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. We'll do it by locking the security entrances at Fusion Labs. Dad's lab is at the peak of Mount Stratus. It's completely isolated, and we can prevent their escape with ease. We're going on ahead. Mount Stratus is enormous, so best we split up. Here, you might need to use this. TMO, wait. This is Rock Climb, which is awesome. Thank you, creator of this game, for making the TMO, for making Rock Climb not an HM. I love you. You are a fantastic person. So, Rock Climb, not a TM. It is essential, though. You do have to have it, but it can be deleted later. So, I go ahead and delete Bite on Irwin, because I want to keep all the other moves, and I can't get rid of Rock Smash. So, I go ahead and go for the Rock Climb, teach it to Irwin, and we head on up into Mount Stratus. So we're back here, and now this is where we learned that all of Mount Stratus is connected to everywhere. Like, I knew it was to an extent, but now I've realized like just how close they are. So I'm here in Mount Stratus, and I head in all the wrong directions. Like, all the wrong places right now. So I'm running around with Jinbei at the front of the party just because it makes it easier to relieve, but I'm going to go ahead and use Poof at the front, I believe. No, I'm going to run Irwin at the front, just because he can definitely run away, and whenever I need to fight some trainers, Irwin's fun to use. So I push that rock out of the way and check, even though I know I've been here. Last episode, I forgot, and during the last grinding montage, so I forgot, and I just leave. I don't know what that area is. I don't know what it's good for, but whatever. Then I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to run down here and see if there's something, as opposed to going the right direction. So I go all the wrong ways here. So yeah, this puts me back at Icebound Chasm. So I leave, head over, and I'm like, oh, let's see what's down here. And I was like, oh, look at all these rocks I can smash. So I smash all these rocks and run through. The time-consuming rock smash animation, even sped up, makes rock smashing annoying. Encounter Wild Geodude, and then I rock climb down here, and I'm back in this area, which leads to Stormy City. And so I was like, oh, cool, it's the Stormy City area. That's awesome. And I leave the cave, which, if you know what leaving the cave does, it resets all the rocks I just smashed. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I have to see and make sure that I'm in this area, even though I know I am. So then I leave, and I have to smash all these rocks again, because I don't know where the fuck I'm going. Random Geodude in the rock, whatever. Keep pushing on through, keep breaking rocks, keep doing all this shit. And head on out there, and then so I'm like, okay, I can go this way. Nope, there's nothing here. So I'm gonna check every wrong path. Every path I know is the wrong path even. I'm just gonna check them all. So now I'm up here, push the rock out there, I'm like, okay, where am I supposed to go? Oh, look, an item, let's go get that. And it's a nugget, which is pretty nice. So I'm like, okay, there's some water up here. Maybe I have to surf over here. Because there's the TNT patch. I know it's not over there. I don't remember seeing any rock climbs there. Alright, so I find the rocks climb here, finally. I'm like, this has got to be the right way. So luckily, yes, this is in fact the right path. So I'm just running away from battles, rock climb up there, and I see all these little battles, and I'm like, maybe I should go up here. So here's Lyron. Further proof that I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I'm like, I'm gonna check up here again. We're doing absolutely nothing evil, I swear. That's what he just said. And this poor Lucario doesn't even know. He don't even know what's coming for him. So I head up here, and there's a waterfall. So I'm like, okay, I'll have to remember this later. I'm not going to remember this later. And then there's just this random fighter dude who does nothing. And I'm like, I'm sure there's an item in this room, but I'll probably come back here later. So I just run through the fight, and I fought that useless battle for no reason because I could just walk past him. And so I'm just gotta fight all these useless trainers all over the place. There are so many trainers here. And it furthers my level advantage over all these guys. If I go for the fly, he calm minds, goes and eats a fly, and then gets taken down. Poof OP. Now we're heading on out. Oh, and if I would have kept running just a little bit further, I would have avoided this battle. I'm like, I'm just gonna rock smash these guys, because I don't want to keep using Fire Blast on them. So rock smash down a couple Scraggies. I love you, Scraggies. I love your videos. I love your videos. So I've taken out some Scraggies with some rock smashes, and then I'm like, you know what? Irwin's low on health. I don't need to use him anymore. Damn kids. So surf across this little patch. And I think I heal up. I only have 10 super potions, because you know what? I never went back and bought healing items, because I'm smart, and he doesn't challenge me. So I'm like, I'm just not going to fight him. Here I see this nice, cute little rock puzzle here, and I'm like, okay. This is kind of one of those that'll try and deceive you, because if you push that bottom rock, you're stuck already. But if you push the top rock first, it lets you open it up. So it's kind of a clever little puzzle. So you push the top rock over, then you push that one down, and then it just kind of opens the path up. And so that way you can push the rock over, because ultimately you have to get the top rock, and you have to be able to push that forward and get out. So that's the extent of that. Run over, fight more Team Fusion. more. Luckily, Team Fusion's worth quite a bit of experience, because they all run these high evolution fighting Pokemon. I'm just like, well, damn, he survived. He might as well have just died there. Alright, so now we see a Poliwrath, and I run with Lobo. It's like, I'm a Thunderbolt. Catch these Thunderbolts. Because Lobo is a beast. Next up we got Hitmonchan. And so I decided I'm going to stay in because I don't want to catch an Ice Punch. Like, I know the Ice Punches are coming. Like, don't try and give me that bullshit. Like, I know it's coming. So, head on out, and then we drop down here, and we fight this trainer. And I was like, oh, yeah. And it's a Granpole. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. Not fighting type, it's kind of cool. And then Irwin misses a Fire Blast. And I'm just like, well, shit. So I take Irwin out of the front of the party. So I'm just like, you know what? I don't think I need Irwin at the front of the party. Like, there's only like 1 or 2 Pokemon that I'd ever see in this area that he'd have to fight. And that's like, you know, Breilooms and stuff. And so I'm not really worried about it. Well, what does this guy have? The one fighting Pokemon that's weak to fire that I forgot about, he in fact just runs right up with a Heracross. And then I'm just like, well, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't want to switch out because I didn't heal up Irwin, and I don't have enough moves. And he lands a huge Brick Break on me. And I'm pretty sure he got a Guts boost off that, and so I'm like, well, I'm not staying in. So now he throws out a Pinsir, who is just pure Bug type, not actually Fighting type. So I go for the Fly. He goes for Revenge, and he takes a Fly and eats the dirt right there. So I'm like, okay, I'll heal up this time, because I may need to. And I only have 9 potions, 8 potions, 7 potions. And I'm like, let's head on into the next area. What do I find now? A little hiker dude. What does the hiker dude do? Well, he heals my Pokemon. Well, I have 7 potions. That should be plenty. Now I don't know what this area is that I'm going up to, but it's kind of cool. So there's just all these fucking stairs. I'm just like, where the hell am I going? So I come out this little area, and it looks like we're at the peak. And it's kind of cool. And so I'm wondering if this is probably like a legendary encounter later. Like this is where I'll fight like Rayquaza or something, because like the highest point in the region. Something sort of like that, maybe. That's kind of cool. But I was like, yeah, I'll have to remember that one. So I'll come back here later at some point, and I just sprint on down the stairs. Go over, there's nothing over in that direction. So I've dodged that trainer. Come and fight this guy. And then, again, a grass Pokemon. And I'm just like, well, shit. Still need Irwin. Irwin is always needed. This Arcanine has put in so much work so far. Like, Jinbei is the strongest on my team, but Irwin, after the past few parts, is probably the MVP right now. And he's kind of beasting it. Then we got Lobo. Now we got a Blaziken coming in. And I'm like, who can fight Blaziken? I'm like, you know what? Jinbei can. So I go for a nice and powerful Scald. And as it turns out, he can't catch that Scald. Nice and powerful crit, though, by the way. Pretty unnecessary crit. Also, I want to avoid that trainer still, because I don't need to fight him. So I'm going to pop over and heal real fast. Because not about that life. So I'm seeing all these Bannettes, and I'm like, I wish I could have caught a Bannett in here. I like Bannettes. They have deceptively high attack stats. So I'm just waiting for this guy to turn. Don't want to fight useless trainers. Because I know they'll all disappear later on anyway. This guy sends out a solo Poliwrath, and he can catch this Thunderbolt, and we're good. So keep getting weaker and weaker. Right in this area, there's a couple of nice hidden items, or a couple of nice items hanging out here. So I'm like, I'm gonna pick up this. It's Dragon Claw. I feel like I have 2 Dragon Claws right now. I don't even check, but I think I do. There's a double battle right there, but I see an item over here in the corner. I'm like, I'm gonna grab this thing, but I'm holding the speed up button because I'm dumb. So caught me a full restore, and then I'm hopping around this corner, and I'm gonna double battle these guys. But I'm like, I'm gonna use Poof and Lobo. Why not? No one's beaten us yet. We are the best duo in Team Fusion. There's a Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, which is kind of fun. Time. So sorry about a little audio jump there. Someone was at the door while I was recording. But here, I'm going to start out by going for a fly on the Hitmonlee and just thunderbolting the Hitmonchan. Because I don't really feel like taking an Ice Punch. So I dropped the Hitmonchan pretty quickly, and then they switch out into these Magmortar Electivire combo again. And so, well, I don't really want to fight this with these two at all. So I decide I'm going to switch out. And so I go for Jinbei and Poof, but I'm like, you know what? I think Poof is about to take an electric attack. So let's make Lobo switch to Windy, and let's make Poof switch to Jinbei. So that they can catch the right attacks. Alright, so they set up a light screen, get a Confuse Ray off, which is annoying. But go for the Spore on Electivire, because I don't want to deal with that, and I go for the Scald on Magmortar, and just take him down. Actually, I don't take him down, because he's pretty beefy, I guess. This one's pretty strong. But I'm going to just start going for a Dragon's Rage on the Electivire, and I'm just going to finish off with a Scald. Also went for the Eruption, but Eruption did no damage because he had no health. But I hit that nice level 42, go for another Dragon Rage, and another Scald. I thought about doing the whole switch to Poof and Earthquake thing again, but I didn't think it was really worth it. Team Fusion Grunts were defeated. We failed. We failed. Yes, you did. You did fail. I'm sorry. Now we meet up with Blake. Oh good, you've made it. You remember the plan, right? Fusion Labs is just up ahead. Let's hurry. So, it's kind of cool out here. Let's get out of this cold. Right. Now, he runs off in there, and I don't know where he goes. But Henry stays here, and he can heal your Pokemon. But he doesn't heal right off the bat for whatever reason. But get him to heal your Pokemon. Running through here. So here is the Team Plasma or Team Fusion Labs. Team Plasma. Team Fusion Labs. Plasma Fusion, stuff like that. Whatever. In here, we got some scientists hanging out. There's a PC in here, which is pretty nice. Don't have time to deal with him right now. I need to find a way to make a reusable revive soon or I'll be in trouble. That's kind of awesome. I want a reusable revive. So like, maybe these guys say fun things. Well, actually, some of them are actually trainers. Sends out Magneton. I'm like, well, I don't want to stay on this, so I'll switch to Jinbei. Or no, I switched to Irwin, who gets paralyzed, which is unfortunate. And then I almost used Rock Climb, but I was paralyzed again. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this shit. So I'm going to Earthquake, because I thought I was about to get Zap Cannon, because I saw the lock on, and I was like, I'm going to get Zap Cannon so hard right now. He throws at Magnezone, who, unfortunately for Magnezone, doesn't have Levitate. Ever, for whatever reason. I feel like it should, but he doesn't. It says, has something to do with the, there's a password door up ahead, and he says, it has something to do with the month of April. And I'm like, okay. Something to do with the month of April? And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. And I'm like, why is that? And I think that's completely false. Because I try and answer this door, and the gate needs a password, and I see this gold Bulbasaur in, and I'm like, oh, I feel sheepish. Because I now know that the gold Bulbasaur earlier was not, in fact, a Pokemon. So I just try typing in April, and see what happens. And nothing. So I check with this dude, and I fight him, and Trainer Wesley, and he has Volt Absorb. So I'm just like, well, fuck, I'm out. So I switch out to Jinbei, and I'm just like, I'm gonna Earthquake this shit. I've been confused by everything in this episode, by the way. There's been so much confusion in this episode. Alright, so the hardest known material around, that's the password. And so I'm just like, okay. I just ignore the previous password. Like, I don't think the April thing has anything to do with the password. So I'm just like, diamonds. Diamonds. I don't get the reference. I don't know why April has to do with diamonds. But I just think that the first guy is just lying to us. He knows nothing about the password. So I'm going to run up and fight these two trainers up here, because so many double battles. And I love double battles. I think they're so fun. Grunts send out Girder and Machoke. So I go for the Scald on the Girder and just try and sack off the Girder. And I go for the Fly on the Machoke, because I don't think Machoke is an immediate threat to me. I don't see him doing a lot of immediate damage right now. He goes for the Vital Throw and he missed. So I'm like, oh god, that's a Conkeldurr. I wish I focused him. So I go for the... I hit the Fly and I go for a Scald on Conkeldurr, hope for like a burn. But he uses Rock Climb. For whatever reason, he uses Rock Climb on me. And so he catches that Scald and faints. And then Machamp uses Revenge, but doesn't have a Revenge boost. And then takes a Fly. So he just gets destroyed. And so now I'm going to head back out, I'm going to heal, and this is going to be the end of the episode. I'm just going to stop right here in front, because it sounds like I'm going to have a lot more puzzles to deal with, a lot of stuff to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked the video, go ahead and like it down below. If you want to see more of my content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm sorry, I'm going to have the audio fixed by next time, and hopefully we can get through this part and get the 8th gym badge next time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Arc Random. I'm signing off. Later.